So, you're 6 months, maybe even a year into sobriety, and you're asking yourself, I'm finally sober. Why am I still stressed about money? Well, I've got an answer coming up. So, how do you like the new look? Yeah, it's about time, right? Look, money's confusing, right? You think once the alcohol or the drugs are gone, money should just magically sort itself out. After all, you're not blowing it on booze or dope anymore. So why doesn't your bank account feel like it's healed too? My name is Glenn. I'm a recovered alcoholic and I drank for 40 plus years. And by the grace of God, I've been sober now for over 5,000 days. Everything I share is just my opinion and it comes from my experience in recovery. I'll tell you this, money in sobriety, it's one of the most surprising battles that you'll ever face. I know I had to face it early. And the reason it catches us off guard is because nobody talks about it until this video. We talk about cravings and relationships and meetings and faith and repairing trust. But money? Oh, no. It's like this secret that doesn't get mentioned until it smacks you in the face. Now, I'm going to hold off on answering the big question until the very end. Why am I still stressed about money? Because when you hear the truth, I promise it's going to shift the way that you see both recovery and finances forever. But first, let me take you right into the middle of the story. Now imagine this. You've just hit 1 year sober. You're feeling great. You're working again. Your head's clear. You walk into the bank and check your app, and there it is. Money in your account. Money that you didn't have when you were using. And man, it does feel really good. Because for so long, every dollar went straight into that black hole of addiction. Nothing to show for it except emptiness, shame, and maybe some burned bridges. Lots of devastation. Been there, done that. So, what do you do with this new little pile of cash? You celebrate, of course. You buy a nice meal, you order something online, and maybe you start picking up extras at the grocery store. Nothing crazy, but hey, why not? You've been through hell. You deserve it. Listen, I'm telling my own story here, right? At first, it feels harmless, and then it becomes routine. Suddenly, you're starting to eat out 5 nights a week or ordering DoorDash every night. Packages show up at your door every couple of days. One afternoon, you look at your balance again and your stomach drops because where did it all go? I'm sober. I'm not blowing it on drinks or drugs. So why am I broke? Well, that's what I call the financial whiplash of sobriety. 1 minute, you feel like you're in control, like money is finally on your side. And the next, it's like you're right back in the chaos again. Only now, instead of alcohol or drugs draining your account, it's your own impulses. Here's the thing. Sobriety doesn't just remove the substance. It rearranges your entire life. And when we're drinking or using, we had this distorted view of money. Most of us weren't budgeting, we weren't saving, we weren't thinking of long-term saving. Money came in, money went out, fast. So now you're sober, and suddenly you've got money in your pocket again. But your brain, that's still learning what to do with it. And then there's that emotional side. Think about it. When you used to feel stressed or lonely or bored, what did you do? You poured a drink, you picked up, you numbed out. But now, you can't do that. So what happens? You swipe the card, you buy something. Spending becomes the new coping mechanism. I've heard people in recovery say that Amazon was my first relapse. And you might laugh, but it's true. Shopping, food, even gambling, these things sneak in because your emotions are raw and money right there in your hand. And let's not forget the guilt factor. Sobriety has this way of shining a light on the wreckage that we left behind. Old debt, credit cards never paid, bills we ignored, people we borrowed from. That weight can crush you, and sometimes it drives people to overspend because deep down they feel like, I don't deserve to get ahead anyway. I might as well spend it. It's not just numbers on a screen. It's emotional. It's spiritual. You know what I love about the Bible is it doesn't shy away from money. Believe it or not, Jesus talked about it, and every time he tied it back to the heart. There's Luke 16:11, where Jesus says, "So, if you have not been trustworthy in handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches?" Well, that one hits deep because it reminds us that money is a test. If we can't manage dollars, how in the world can we be trusted with peace, relationships, or spiritual growth? And then Proverbs 21:20 says, "The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down." Well, that was us in addiction. We gulped everything. Money, time, energy, people, gone. Sobriety is about becoming wise and learning to hold on to things and use them well. Proverbs 22:7 says, "The borrower is slave to the lender." Well, addiction was the lender, the thief, and it made us slaves to the bottle, the pill, the needle. Addiction stole our lives and our money. Debt does the same thing. Part of recovery is learning how to break both kinds of chains. You know where I've seen this financial whiplash the most is right in the everyday things. It's the guy who's 6 months sober feeling amazing. He goes out, he buys a brand new car because, hey, it feels good and he deserves it. Only problem is, now he's locked into a 5-year loan and the pink cloud fades way before the payments do. It's the woman who ignored bills for years during addiction, and now she's sober and the collection letters, they start showing up again. It feels overwhelming. She's drowning in a sea that she didn't even know existed. Now, there's the quiet, sneaky kind of spending, too. Look out for that. The takeout meals, yep. The impulse buys, oh yeah. And the little things that add up, they all do. Nobody notices it at first, but your bank account does. On the other side, I've seen people go the opposite way. They get so afraid of being broke again that they hoard every dollar. They don't enjoy anything. They're constantly anxious about money slipping through their fingers. And you know what? That's not freedom either. That's just another prison. So, how do we start to heal this? First, it's about slowing down. Just like recovery, money is one day at a time. You don't have to fix everything today. You don't have to pay every bill today. Save a fortune or become a financial guru overnight. Take small steps. Second, it's about honesty. Same way we got sober, by admitting we had a problem. We've got to admit where our money is out of control. Maybe it's shopping, maybe it's debt, maybe it's fear. And then it's about gratitude. You know, gratitude changes the way we see money. Instead of always saying, I need more, sobriety teaches us to look around and say, God has given me enough for today. That shift takes away so much pressure. And finally, generosity. This one flips the script completely. Addiction made us selfish. Recovery calls us to be givers. When you give even a little, you're telling money, you don't own me anymore. It becomes a tool, not a master. That's freedom. And it doesn't come overnight. It comes little by little as you learn to treat money the way you've learned to treat sobriety. With respect, with patience, and with accountability. So let's go back now to that question. Why am I still stressed about money? The answer is simple but powerful. Because sobriety doesn't make you rich. It makes you clean and sober. You want to be rich? Invent a better mousetrap. Your attitude toward money reflects where your heart is. If your heart is restless, money will feel restless, and you'll most likely be unable to hold on to it. If your heart is fearful, money will feel like chains and it'll drag you down. But if your heart is grounded in gratitude, faith, and wisdom, money becomes what it was always meant to be, a tool. Nothing more, nothing less. So if you're sitting there sober and broke, or sober and still struggling with money, hear me on this, okay? You're not failing. You're just learning a new way to live. Don't beat yourself up. Don't give up. The same God who gave you the strength to put down the drink or the drug will give you the wisdom to manage your finances one day at a time. You need income? Go get a job or upgrade yourself into a better job. Grow yourself. Look into some apps that are available to help control your budget. There's a lot of good ones out there. And there's a ton of knowledge out there as well, right here on YouTube. And there's apps available to help rebuild your credit if that's a problem area. Everything you need is out there and available online. And remember, peace isn't in your bank account. Peace is between you and God. And as long as you keep walking this road, He'll keep teaching you, shaping you, and freeing you, not just from addiction, but from every chain that tries to hold you down. God wants you to prosper. And take it from me, God will give you what you need. If you got any value out of this video, please like and subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel to help as many caught up in addiction as possible. Leave a comment. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover, let me know. I read them all. God bless you. God bless our veterans. And remember, someone out there loves you.